My student says, Maestro, thank you so much. But between the two of us, you're the intelligent one. Otherwise, I'd be able to sing as well. Haha. Thank you so much. Now I'm on my way home and I'll reflect on these points before practicing. The explanation about the distance between the emission and the abdomen is so simple and clear that you should be awarded a Nobel Prize. Who are you? Thank you so much, Maestro. My response, yes, in this world, no one can say that the vocal point must be as close to the abdomen as possible. What I mean is, once the shape and position of the resonance chambers are properly adjusted to sing the high notes you want to sing, you must consciously lower the sound and breath point. Think about it. Generally, when people speak in daily life, the mouth is the primary sound source. With this sound position, how can you use abdominal breath to control it? Unlike crows, whose body has a direct sound tube from the abdomen to the tip of the beak, even though they don't have vocal cords, their sound is produced through vibrations in the sound tube. The human body is different. Humans have vocal cords, and the throat and mouth are the primary sound sources. The human body is winding and complex, and the vocal cords are the obstacle to proper sound production. Therefore, in everyday speech, the position of the vocal cords is the sound position. But I'm telling you, to sing well, you don't sing by forcing your sound above the vocal cords, but you must sing with strength below them. Please remember that. My student said, hello, Maestro. I am practicing Denise's canta pemme. My last high note is always tight, and my vowel E sounds narrow. I've been stuck on this last phrase for half an hour. The note is G, Sol, which for tenors is a passaggio point. The reason I sing it tight is that my brain has foolishly trained itself to think this is the highest note in the world. Therefore, my brain immediately sends the sound to the head voice, lifting the larynx, tightening the throat, phi, and creating tension above the vocal cords. But if I try to place each note in the same spot, the sound I hear in my ear is correct. The last phrase of the song is sol, la, sa, sol. If I think that each note should be slightly smaller than the previous one, so mentally reducing the volume a little bit each time, my abdomen remains active and I don't need to push anything. The final high note becomes effortless because the vocal placement and breath support are nearly in the same place. These are some thoughts I have while practicing, and I wanted to share them with you to confirm if I understand your guidance correctly. I hope I expressed myself clearly. One more thing, I also just practiced Albanese's version of canta pemme. As you said, the high notes are a completely different matter. The middle range is indeed very helpful, but the way the high notes are handled is entirely different. Do you think visualizing the breath descending into the abdomen like inflating a balloon, then rising back into the head voice would be helpful? Thank you so much. I'll continue to keep my abdomen working. Respect, Maestro. I respond. The tightness in your high notes and the narrow vowels, these are not issues caused by producing high notes. These are problems with your physical structure. Your resonance chambers have not yet adjusted to the proper position and shape. You might not understand this right now, but I want to tell you that you should not blame yourself. You have been working hard and making progress, bit by bit. You should praise yourself instead. I have a feeling that if I don't demonstrate my high notes to you, it will take time for you to find the right feeling on your own. However, with language barriers, I can speak English more slowly. We can schedule a time for a voice call in the future, but I never know when you'll be resting at home, and I wouldn't want it to interfere with your family. Since there's no time zone issue between our countries, finding a suitable time is always difficult. We can talk more about this later. To be strict with you, your middle voice is still not 100% correct. I mean that your vocal placement is still too high. You must remember that when you sing your current middle voice, you've already decided that your high notes won't be as good. You probably understand this. I've told you before, don't worry about singing high notes. If you listen to me and do what I tell you, the high notes will come out naturally and sound great. Each note should be slightly smaller than the previous one. This does not solve the root problem, so let me explain in a different way. As the pitch rises, if your vocal technique is correct, the sound will naturally weaken. The high notes must be quieter than the middle ones. Only the three current male tenors and the modern tenors who chase vocal effects always try to maintain the same volume across all registers, which is wrong. They mistakenly make their middle and high notes sound with the same volume and resonance, which is where they go wrong. You mentioned visualizing the breath descending into the abdomen like inflating a balloon, then rising back into the head voice. This will definitely be effective, but the problem is that your body still needs to be transformed. Right now, your abdomen cannot hold much breath. Do you understand? Still, the method you mentioned. If you want to become a 90% excellent tenor like Pertil or Monaco, you can learn it. But if you want to be 100% excellent like Caruso, this method is not perfect. The perfect use of breath, I will sing it for you later and show you what 100% correct breathing technique is. Unfortunately, there is no one else in the world who knows this except for me. Let's just write about it for now. My suggestion. First, you need to be clear that from now on, your middle voice is improving and the placement of your middle voice has lowered. What does it mean for the vocal placement to lower? If a note is sung correctly from the start, but you want to amplify the sound, you must strengthen the resonance effect. 1. How can the resonance effect be more effectively enhanced? Is it enough to just exert force from the throat and project the sound towards the mouth, nasal cavity, and forehead? This can enhance resonance, but it is not the correct way to improve resonance. So, what is the correct way to enhance resonance? You're smart, so you can check online resources. I'll give you a task and try answering it. If you can't answer it correctly, you won't be able to achieve it correctly. 2. Your abdomen lacks space. How can this issue be solved? You can also research this in your spare time. I'm curious to see how you address my task. If you can answer correctly, this will ensure you're on the right track in your vocal practice. Today, I'm giving you 2 assignments to think about. Listening to your singing and offering comments is one aspect, but training your understanding of proper vocal technique is equally important.